Alright, hey guys, welcome back to another video on the Flow of Consciousness YouTube channel. My voice is still not 100% functioning, but it's getting there, so I commit to making one video a day, so here it is. Now, what I want to talk about in this video is what they didn't tell me about self-love. And self-love always was this very esoteric, undefined, unpractical concept for myself. I never really understood what it actually means. What does it mean to love yourself? Self-love. How do you apply it? What does it actually practically mean? How do you practice self-love? How do you love yourself, right? And I know it's a term that circles around the internet everywhere. You can read it on Instagram, you can read it on YouTube, you can read it in articles, blog posts, everywhere. Self-love. And some people like to believe it's spoiling yourself or always taking good care of your skin and doing these kind of like materialistic things in order to show that you love yourself. Now, for me, this always struck some kind of resistance within myself. I felt intuitively that this is not what self-love must mean. It can't be this materialistic concept that is designed to perpetuate consumerism, right? For me, self-love had to be something more deeply, more intuitively, more connected to your being, right? And so I went on a journey to basically discover what it means for myself. And I remember buying a book by Teal Swan. It's called Shadows Before Dawn. And it's an absolutely magnificent book. I highly recommend you check it out. It really helped me figuring out what self-love actually means for myself. And one of the very important questions that is the core of this book is, what would a person who loves themselves do? Ask yourself this question every time you are about to make a decision. It can be whether you want to eat a healthy or not so healthy meal. It can be whether you want to say something mean to someone or you want to be kind, whether you want to take a day off, whether you want to be gentle with yourself. All these situations where you need to make a decision, when you ask yourself this question, what would a person who loves themselves do? It will force you to really listen to your intuition and pay attention to what it is that you actually need in that moment. And to make this question a little bit easier for yourself is, what would you tell to a loved one when they would be in your situation, when a loved one is extremely exhausted? Would you tell them to get up and start working hard, or would you tell them to be gentle with themselves, to take it easy, to take good care of their health, to rest? What would you tell to a loved one, right? So it can help to take your perspective from your own self and put it onto a loved one, and then think, what would you do? What would you tell them if they were in your situation? And this can really create a sense of awareness around the things that you need to do in order to love yourself, in order to show that you're worthy of love. And by asking yourself this question, by really intuitively tapping into the things you need, and by then acting on those needs, by making them a reality, by taking action towards fulfilling those needs for yourself, you will show that you are worthy of love. You are worthy to show up for. You want to continuously show up for yourself and of course others. And by showing up for others, you also show up for yourself. This is something that I also really came to understand, that the more you show up for others, the more you show up for yourself, and the other way around. So this was the first step in my journey through self-love, towards self-love, because I am of course not at the point where I can safely say that, oh, I wholeheartedly love myself. Of course there is still a lot of things inside me that I haven't integrated fully, that I still need to process, and there is infinite growth ahead, right? So another step in this journey through self-love, towards self-love, is me discovering the Mouth of the Ape channel, YouTube channel. It's a fantastic guy. He talks about very profound things, and he really, really helped me process my previous breakup, which was absolutely brutal for me. I felt completely destroyed mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. I was just brought to my knees by this breakup, and it took me a long time to rediscover myself. And his YouTube channel really helped me to find my way back to myself, right? And so he talks about becoming aware of the things that make you feel good, that energize you. When you're in a bad place, when you're after a breakup and you're in the gutter, down in the gutter, in the darkness, you are extra sensitive to the things that make you feel even worse, and you can cultivate an intuition and a sense of awareness around the things that make you feel better, that energize you, right? So you want to start to pay attention to these things. You want to pay attention to whether when you call a friend, if you feel energized after that or drained, whether if you eat a healthy meal, if you feel better afterwards, or if you eat a big bowl of greasy pasta, how do you feel? Tap into these bodily sensations. Really listen to yourself. How does this behavior make me feel? And this is a skill you can develop over time. You can increase your awareness around these topics. You can learn that, okay, when I eat a big bowl of greasy pasta, I feel terrible afterwards. So let me try to, instead of eating this, let me try to prepare some fresh vegetables and add some nice spices and really take the time to prepare something for myself that nourishes my body. And I enjoy spending time looking for a recipe and really creating this little ritual around my food, for example. And then afterwards you check in with yourself and you check and you see, oh, this actually really made me feel better, even though it was maybe just a little bit, right? So to tie it back into this concept of self-love, it's about discovering the things that energize you, that make you feel good about yourself, that give you a sense of meaning and purpose. And you want to continuously do these activities every single day. And this is what I think it means to love yourself, to practice self-love. It is to learn the things that energize you, to learn the things that you enjoy doing, and then to do them on a consistent basis, to show up for yourself, right? And then another big part of the self-love journey for me was learning to set boundaries with myself and with people, because I used to absorb so much energy of people. And I realized that at some point you need to also set boundaries for yourself. You need to stop to try to manipulate the situation so that they would like you. You need to stop to become a people pleaser. It's really a toxic behavior, and it's rooted in insecurity. And if you continue to engage in people pleasing behavior, you're actually abandoning yourself, which is a message to your subconscious that you're actually unworthy of your own personality, of your own identity. And people pleasing masks this as wanting to be liked, as wanting to do good for others, but actually there is a very dark side to people pleasing too. And I will probably record a more in-depth video about this topic. However, setting boundaries for me is an integral part of practicing self-love, because it will allow you to really develop a healthy sense of ego, to really honor your own personality, to honor your own needs, to honor your own struggles, to honor your own energy, to protect your own energy also, because it's very, very important. Of course, you want to stay open and vulnerable to the world, but you also need to be aware that in certain cases it can be too much for your system to handle, and then you need to take time to process everything. And this is also a part of self-love. So the things they told me about self-love before I started this journey were absolutely completely different from the things that I know now. So that's why I wanted to take the time to share my journey with you a little bit. And I hope that this will at least make you think about this concept and hopefully apply these things in your own life. And on that note, I want to end this video, and I want to thank you for being brave. I want to thank you for taking the time to really work on yourself and to make yourself a better place, because by doing that, you make the world a better place. And if you want to work with me, you can send me an email on flowofconsciousness1@gmail.com, or send me a DM on Instagram at flowofconsciousness. And as always, thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one. Bye.